Hello, this is Claire Benson, and today I will be presenting my final goals project for Journeys 10. The first goal that I will be discussing is my academic goal, which was for both semesters to have a geometry grade of a B+ or higher. For my difficulties, I definitely underestimated the complexity of geometry, so the class required a lot more dedication and studying compared to my previous math classes. The first semester was easier for me because it involved some review work, but the second semester was definitely more difficult. The equations and formulas got more advanced as well as the workload increased. Since math is my least favorite class, it was definitely hard to continuously study for. However, once I got used to studying extra for geometry class, the workload became easier. For my progress and my academic goal, as I previously mentioned, the first semester included familiar methods and equations. However, the second semester grew in difficulty and work. Every year, it's always harder for me to focus and persevere through the second half of the school year, but I really wanted to push myself to get the same grade I did as last semester. I pushed myself to study and review my math daily, which significantly helped my grade. I also started focusing more on the areas I wasn't as confident in until I felt solid enough about the topic. The first semester, I was able to complete my goal of a B+ in geometry, which I was extremely happy with. For my overall reflection for my first goal, although I am not entirely finished with the second semester of school yet, the end is definitely up and coming. My current grade in geometry is a B. However, if I study more on my weaker areas, I definitely believe that I should be able to raise the grade to a B+. My academic goal follows the values of George Washington University Online High School because my set goal of having a B+ in math encouraged me to actively work hard to try and get that grade. Math has always been a difficult subject for me, so I'm very proud of myself for persevering and accomplishing my grade. More importantly, I feel much more confident on the topics and lessons within the class. For my second goal, which is my emotional goal, my goal was to become happier with spending time by myself. My difficulties definitely were a lot more compared to the other two goals, as this goal included a lot of personal obstacles. Last year, I moved to a new town with no friends or known people, which this change was a very different circumstance for me, and I was not used to not knowing everyone within my town. With the extensive pandemic, I've been forced to spend more time alone. Initially, the alone time was challenging, but as time passed, I grew to really like doing activities by myself instead of relying on my friends to have fun. For my progress made in my emotional goal, by far I have had the most improvement and change. In previous years, I heavily relied on friendships or other people to be productive or have fun, and it was unlikely for me to do anything by myself. In the beginning of this goals process, I was very unproductive compared to my usual self. I started doing small activities by myself, including bike riding and painting. These activities I chose specifically because I used to enjoy doing them with my friends. It was hard for me to get into a routine of solo activities, but soon enough I really enjoyed my own company. Personally, this was a very important goal for me to complete because it was affecting my mental health and even my schoolwork. With a much better mindset, I'm able to be more productive on both my academic and personal life. For my overall reflection for my emotional goal of becoming happier with spending time by myself, the progress and growth I had for my goal was much more influential than it may first appear. This is because the isolation from friends really negatively impacted my mental health and my schoolwork. The large and sudden change made it difficult for me to adjust, but since last semester, I have grown and benefited a lot from doing solo activities. By enjoying my own company, my self-confidence grew and I stopped depending on other people to have a good time. My emotional goal aligns with the George Washington University online high school values because my isolation caused my natural love of learning and school to be very minimal. When I became more comfortable with my alone time, it encouraged me to work harder in school. Additionally, I had more time available to study or complete school, which helped me become more productive and finish more school more often. My last goal is my social goal, which originally was to make 2 or more new friends in my new town. For my difficulties, when I originally set this goal, I was lacking local friendships and connections, so I was very focused on making nearby friends. In the beginning, my social life was very different than my previous years, which was definitely difficult for me to process. However, as I became more comfortable with my own self and company, the strong desire to make all these new friends minimized. I set new goals of joining more productive activities instead of searching specifically for friends. Undoubtedly, I'm very happy I stopped pressuring myself to find a new friend group and instead joined clubs or sports that I liked that would naturally connect me to people. For my progress made in my social goal, since I pressured myself to find all these new friends and have a similar social life to my old self, it was undeniably hard and forced, which ended up really not helping me whatsoever. As soon as I became more comfortable within myself and less focused on outside opinions, it was a lot easier for me to find new friends and enjoyable people. I modified my original goal and instead focused on joining sports, activities, and clubs that I would really enjoy. I also ended up joining a volleyball club where I met a few friends. Additionally, I joined a golf club at my local country club, which helped me meet many friends who live close to me. By not pressuring myself to find specific friends, I ended up with a variety of friends who enjoy similar things as me. Due to my focus on friendships in previous years, I didn't succeed in school as my full potential. In the months that I was more alone, I worked a lot on my grades in school, which reflected well in my grades. For my last reflection on my social goal, when I changed my goal to focus more on clubs and social groups rather than finding individual friends, I realized that the original goal didn't align well with my emotional goal. My goal of joining more clubs and social activities definitely supports the George Washington University online high school mission because I was able to learn and advance my skills in sports and activities that I love, as well as it definitely enlarged my part within my new community. With the help of my dad, I joined a nearby country club, which gave me access to many people who live close to me. I grew to understand that a few natural and genuine friendships are much better and satisfying than numerous ingenuine and fake friendships. Around a year of living in my new town, and now I feel much more adjusted and happy with my genuine friends and fun activities. That concludes my goals as well as my presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.